Alright, so recently, Doors released an update straight out of nowhere that completely overhauled the stream integration modifier, which as you may recall was added all the way back in the content update over a year ago now. Now, you can play it without a live stream, and in addition to some new events in the modifier, they added a badge granted to those who complete the new game mode, which is now being called Chaos Mode. However, as cool as this Chaos Mode is itself, I'm more interested in the secrets added to this update. It's no surprise that whenever Doors updates, it adds secrets, and it's my goal to cover all of them so you guys are aware of them. From hidden buddies and item skins to secret retro-themed UI, I'll be going over every single new secret edition added in the Doors Chaos Mode update. I'm pretty sure many of you have never heard of even some of these, so strap in. We have got a lot to discuss today, so with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so the first secret I'd like to discuss has to do with new glitch death screens. As you may have noticed, all the previous holiday events have now been moved to the Visions category in the Elevator Create screen, which is a great quality of life feature as now they're all easily accessible. And with that, some of these event visions actually have been secretly updated to include glitch-themed death screens. For example, now when you die in the 2025 Halloween Trick-or-Treat event, Glitch will talk to you and present you with a glitch-themed death screen, which wasn't actually there before this update, so it was a new secret addition. Additionally, this glitch-themed death screen can also be seen in retro mode. However, in this game mode, it's a lot cooler, as the background and text are actually stylized like retro mode, which is an incredibly cool Easter egg, especially considering how old and outdated this game mode is. That isn't all for this retro mode though, as another secret was actually added to it in this update that many of you probably have never noticed. This hidden change is that all the UI in retro mode is now stylized to be retro themed, not just the death screen. This covers everything, and I mean everything, from your inventory to the shop to even items in your inventory. All the text and all the UI elements are completely themed if you access them in this game mode. Now, keep in mind that retro mode was a 2024 April Fool's game mode only, so it's very surprising to see it receive an update like this, as the game mode itself will probably never be updated gameplay-wise given how old and outdated it is. Still, this is a very cool Easter egg. I'd also just like to mention that this is all entirely visual. The retro UI functions the exact same as it does in the normal game. It just now fits the whole retro theme of this game mode, which is a great quality of life feature as it doesn't break immersion, which is kind of cool. Although, given how old and untouched this game mode is, I wouldn't be surprised if many players never came across this new secret. Moving on though, let's talk about secret items that have been added to this update. Players managed to catch footage of the Doors developers using Twitch-themed item skins, specifically those being a Twitch-themed buddy and a Twitch-themed flashlight. Currently, these secret items are exclusive to only developers, hence why none of us can get our hands on them right now. However, the public will eventually be able to obtain them soon, through the feature known as Twitch Drops. Essentially, how this works is that only on February 17th and February 26th, watching any Roblox content on Twitch, which is a popular place to watch live streams, will reward the player's special Twitch-themed items indoors via a code they receive for watching a certain amount of hours. Players will have to watch a couple hours, as I just mentioned, in order to receive these limited Twitch-themed item skins, and they will only be available for those days I mentioned previously. But yeah, just be prepared to get these limited edition items, which do look pretty cool. Moving on though, the next secret addition to this update isn't so much new rather than it is surprising. Essentially, as you may have noticed, there is a small chance that the Chaos Mode event will spawn the Groundskeeper in the hotel. Now, given how this game mode does take place in the hotel, as I just mentioned, the Groundskeeper can't really become aggravated towards you, given how there's no grass to walk on to anger them. As you may recall, the Groundskeeper only attacks players if they step on the grass for an extended period of time. However, apparently, even with this, it was discovered that you can actually get them to spawn in the courtyard or greenhouse if you are lucky enough. And if you walk on the grass there, they will become angry and actually kill you in the hotel. This event is incredibly rare to come across, but it is really cool to see how the Groundskeeper's mechanics still secretly work in the hotel if the conditions are met, given how grass does spawn very sparsely throughout this floor. Similarly to that secret though, the next one I wanted to discuss has to do with Figure. Now, one of the Chaos Mode events you can come across is one which just immediately triggers hide effect on you. What that means is that you'll be jump scared by hide and you won't be able to hide in closets for a couple seconds. Your screen also shakes and turns red and stuff. I'm sure you're all familiar with how hide attacks you. Anyways, the thing is though, if you do receive this effect, it will actually instantly trigger Figure and cause him to run towards you and potentially kill you. I actually died to this exact thing in the library twice. However, it's interesting because without Chaos Mode, players could have never guessed that just being jump scared by Hyde's anger feature could get you killed by Figure. I always just assumed leaving the closet itself triggers Figure, but apparently it's Hyde itself that is the reason for Figure's aggravation towards you. That is a pretty cool entity interaction, I must admit. Now, the last secret I want to discuss today isn't really that much of a secret, as I'm sure you've already noticed it upon immediately joining the game after this update released. You see, for a while, a single battle mode elevator could be found in the lobby for players to easily access and play battle mode with their friends. The game mode itself has definitely seen better days, as it's pretty dead. However, this elevator served to make players at least aware of the game mode's existence in case they did want to play it. This update removed that elevator, meaning the only way to actually play a battle mode round is by scrolling through the elevator create screen, which makes the game mode incredibly hard to find, as there isn't even a button to quickly access it in the elevator create screen like all the other game modes. Now, I've always been a big battle mode fan, however this change just makes it even harder for rounds of the game mode to be played at all, as now barely anybody knows how to even access the game mode. I hope this is changed in the future, but I wanted to bring it up here because, well, where else would I? It was also a secret addition in this update. Anyways, those were all of the major secrets added in the Chaos Mode update to Doors, which was only just recently shadow dropped to us. I just want to reiterate to you guys that you should probably spend a couple hours on February 17th or 26th watching Roblox content on Twitch, as that way you can unlock very exclusive and limited item skins within Doors. Just as a reminder, these skins cannot be obtained anywhere else, and they probably, after those dates, will never be obtainable again, so you better be there if you actually want them. Also, let me know down in the comments if you knew any of these secrets, as well as if you had the unfortunate encounter of dying to the Groundskeeper in the hotel, or dying to Figure because of Hyde. These events are pretty rare, however, I died to Figure because of Hyde's event in Chaos Mode twice now, and that was pretty annoying, so I want to see if anyone else had a similar experience. So, with all of that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.